Hi, this is Valerie from Give Me Lip and More. How are y'all doing? All right, well, no collab today. Can you believe that? If you're new here, welcome. And all of my favorites, well, you know who you are. All right, so I wanted to talk to you about my no-buy year. So for 2019, I want to do a no-buy for an entire year. I did a no-buy for all of December of 2018, and I will say it was rough because I want everything I see, and yeah, and I'm blind, but not blind enough, obviously, because I keep seeing things and I keep wanting things. But I was very proud of myself because I did make it 31 days without purchasing anything. Yay! Now, I will say Christmas helped because my daughters did buy me makeup for Christmas, so that sort of kind of, made things a little easier. But I didn't purchase anything on my own, and that's a lot. That's a lot for me. So, my no-buy rules. Fabric. I do not need any more fabric. But I do want to sew up this fabric, so I may need thread, I may need needles, I like to make quilts, I may need batting. So those things are not excluded because you can't use the fabric without thread, needles, and accessories to, make I may need new rotary blades, things of that nature that will make using the fabric work out. The other thing, clothes. I don't need any clothes unless I lose a significant amount of weight or it's something that work has deemed that necessary for work. Currently, I don't wear scrubs, but if I changed jobs or took a part-time job or did something and they were like, okay, well, you have to wear scrubs and you need this color scrub or something of that nature, then of course I would go ahead and purchase that. But as far as buying clothing that is not for work, then no, I don't need any more clothes. Shoes. Again, I do not need any more shoes either. I love shoes. It's one of the reasons I want to be a spider in my next life, so I can have 8 legs and wear, 4 pairs of shoes. Can you see it? Oh, I can see it. Okay, back to reality. I am not a spider. So, shoes. Now, if I took a position, whether it be permanent, part-time, whatever, and I had to have a certain kind of shoe to be able to work a 12-hour shift, because right now my shoes are not hospital appropriate or 12-hour shift appropriate. They're comfortable, but they're not that comfortable. So again, I would then invest in shoes for work. But as far as just to be cute, yeah, no, I don't need any more cute shoes. Okay, I want them. I already want them, but I'm not going to buy them. And then let's get into beauty products. Makeup, hair, skincare, perfume. Did I tell you I love perfume? Those, I call them smellies. Oh, and I love all different kinds of smellies, and they just, because they smell good, and then I smell good, and well, I like to stand next to people that smell good, so, I don't want to set off anybody's allergies, but I do like to smell good. So these things will be replacements if I run through every single perfume that I have. and I have quite a bit, so it's hard to imagine right now me running completely out of perfume. I mean, it could happen, but I don't see that happening. Skincare. I have quite a bit of skincare. So if I run out of an eye cream, then I can replace it with an eye cream. If I run out of a moisturizer, I can replace it with a moisturizer or a sunscreen or things of that nature. But just to go, oh, there's some new skin cream, skin something I want to try. No. And that's hard because I do like different, I do like to try new things every once in a while. So, hair. I'm not buying more hair stuff either. I will say though, I do like my specialty products, but right now I have several. I have Nioxin that helps with thinning hair, and then I have various shampoos and dry shampoos and, oh, what is that other stuff called? Treatments that are all to help baby fine, limp, thinning hair. So I am not going to use regular shampoo because then I looked like a drowned rat, and that is not attractive and no one wants to see that. But right now I do have several specialty shampoos and conditioners and treatments that I need to use before purchasing more specialty. So I wanted to make that clear because in the shampoo, conditioner, treatment, hair care thing, I'm not just going to put anything on my hair. It's because again, nobody wants to see that. I don't want to look like that. You don't want to see that. You know, you'd be scarred for life, and I can't afford to pay for your therapy. So, makeup. I have, I think, 2 or 3 foundations, but I have lots of eyeshadows and lots of lip products because those are my favorite things and that's what I have a tendency to buy. I am not going to buy any more lip products this year. Can you believe that? Unless I run out of a nude lip liner. Now I would repurchase a nude lip liner because I can wear it with any lip color. But other than that, as far as lip products, I'm not going to buy any more lipsticks or lip glosses or lip ABC. God, I already want them too. But I'm going to be strong and I'm not going to buy them. But again, if I run completely out of a nude lip liner, because I don't want to put a dark lip liner with a bright orange lip or blue or yeah, I don't want to do that. So that's my lip rule. Eyeshadows. I am not going to buy any eyeshadow palettes this year unless the exception would be I have a lot of Ulta points and I'm not quite to 2,000 Ulta points, but I'm really close. So if I get to 2,000, and it's going to happen because even if I'm just buying replacements, I'm going to get to the 2,000. And I usually shop at Ulta. I don't really shop at Sephora. I do not usually shop at Sephora. So when I get to 2,000 points at Ulta, I am going to allow myself to buy whatever I want. That could be an eyeshadow palette, but not a lipstick. I'm not gonna go back down the lip road. but it could be an eyeshadow palette. I'm not going to restrict myself from an eyeshadow palette on the Ulta Points, just the lip sticks. Again, everything is off limits with the lips except for a nude lip liner, because I use lip liner. Boy, that is so hard to say. The other thing is, I only want to buy replacements every 3 months or every 90 days. So it could be sooner than 90 days, but I guess what I'm trying to say is from January, February, March, I am allowed to buy replacements in that time frame, and then that's what I replace. And then the next three months, I'm allowed to buy. One of the reasons is I want to catch a good sale. And I know some of the way that things work out, they have good sales every 3 months. Because part of it is, yes, it's being a smarter consumer. So I don't want to, need something. Like, let's say I run out of my hair stuff and I really need to go ahead and purchase, my specialty shampoos. They're not cheap. So I would want to get them on sale. So there you have it. I don't want to pay full price for them. It's the same product, whether I pay full price or get it on sale. So if I need it, I want to buy it while it's on sale. Oh my goodness, do you hear those fireworks? I am filming this New Year's Eve, and it's midnight. Yay! Happy 2019. I've said this several times, but happy 2019 again.
Happy New Year.
I'm filming.
Happy New Year.
Do you want to make an appearance, babe? You just want to scream Happy New Year in the background?
Yeah.
Okay. I love you.
Love you.
Bye. Oh, goodness. You never know what's going to happen around my house. Ever, by the way. So, the only other thing that I have yet to make a final decision, and I'm going to not make a final decision on that right this moment, because I keep thinking about it, and 1 minute I'm like, nope, no eyeshadows, no eyeshadows, no eyeshadows, and then the next minute I'm like, well, what about singles? Because I really enjoy duping palettes, and it makes me more resourceful, and plus I really use my single eyeshadows. I mean, I use them. I'm not really good at using palettes, but I'm really good at using singles. So 1 minute I'm like, no, you don't need any, and then the next minute I'm like, well, you don't own any Sydney Grace, and if there was a really good sale and you bought things that were shades that you did not own and would make your collection more complete, because I don't want to duplicate what I already have. I definitely want, if I did buy something, it would be an investment to make my collection more complete, and that's not going to be in palette form anyway, because there'd be too many duplications. So I'm on the fence. 1 minute I'm like, no single shadows. The next minute I'm like, but what if you really could use it? What if it would really be something that would be valuable to you long term, not just a short term gratification, but something that you could not dupe and would add to your duping abilities and be an investment because you don't have that shade. You don't have that color. So, I'm not making a final decision on that one way or the other, but I'm also not going out and buying a whole bunch of singles just because I haven't made a decision yet. I'm not going to go. So, the first 3 months of the no buy, I'm not going to buy any single shadows. I am going to go ahead and give myself 3 more months to really, really think about it, see where my collection is, and do I really feel like it would be an investment of value. If I don't, then I'm gonna go ahead and put it by the wayside. I should be able to come up with an answer in 3 months. 3 months is, a good amount of time. The worst thing that will happen is I will say, I need another 3 months to think about it. But in the process of thinking about it, I cannot act on it. I have to come to a decision, yes or no, before I can act on it. And I have to have specific rules for it. So since right now I'm on the fence, I haven't made up my mind what I want to do with single eyeshadows. I'm not going to buy any for 3 months. I'm going to give myself another 3 months to go ahead and come up with a plan of action on either I won't be buying any, or I will have specific rules and guidelines on how that would be attainable. And so I don't know. I don't know if that's going to come into play. I don't know if I will just, when my Ulta points, and there's a decent sale, if I will just buy some single shadows at that time. Or if by the time 3 months goes by, I was like, there's really nothing that I really want. I'm so happy with my current collection that I will just use it, and I will just use my Ulta points for replacements. And the Ulta points would be the only time that I would, what's the word I'm looking for? The Ulta points would be the only time that I would not just buy replacements, but especially my hair care stuff. That would be the only time that I would have a backup. Just because if I was using my Ulta points, I would use all of them at one time to get the best deal and hopefully a decent coupon or sale. And because for me, it's about value. It's not just rushing out and just going, oh, look, they just put this up and I need it right now. Now you might say, why? Why are you doing this? Well, let me tell you why I'm doing this. One, pre-orders. This past year, I have bought pre-orders of things, and then they don't arrive for months, and I forget. I forget that I ordered it. And then I've paid for it. And then I'm like, oh, I have several of this shade because I forgot that I ordered it. And then I order another one of another brand of something, and then I have 2 or 3 of the same shade. So that's one issue. 2, subscription boxes. I canceled my BoxyCharm. Sometimes you just get things that you don't necessarily need or want. And I don't want to feel the need to try and find them a happy home or try and make them work for me. So I gave up my subscription boxes. I'm not going to do pre-orders probably ever again, or at least not in the near future. Another thing is I had so much stuff that I was not organized. I had a lipstick here, a lipstick there, here lipstick, there lipstick, everywhere lipstick. And then when I wanted my orange lipstick or whatever color I was looking for, well, if it wasn't the first place I looked or the second place I looked, then I was like, ooh, I need another orange lipstick. And then I would buy one. And then I'd find one in the third place, the fourth place, the fifth place, the sixth place. And I was like, oh, I have 10 orange lipsticks. Okay, I don't think I have 10. Maybe I do. I don't know, because I haven't organized them by color. But the thing is I have a lot of lip products that I did not know that I had. And some of them also in similar shades. At least they look that way on the lips, because I was unorganized. At this point, I have organized my makeup, and it's much, much better, because now I can find my things easily. I can see my things. I'm one of the people that cannot use, oh, my nose. Okay, let's try this again. I'm one of the people that cannot use the drawer system, because if I don't see it, I forget about it. I need a bookshelf so that I'm constantly reminded when I look on the bookshelf, there's all of my things. And then when I see all of my things, I can acknowledge it and go, look at all that stuff you got. So I have to be able to see it. Everybody's different, but that method works for me. The other thing is, I have a little bit of an addictive personality. And I could just sweep that under the rug, but I wouldn't be being very honest with you. So, used to turn to food, and over time, gained a significant amount of weight. Now, when I was young, being overweight wasn't an issue. It didn't have any health risk. But as I've gotten older, there were health issues. So I have conquered my food addiction. Yes! And that's a really good feeling. But then I turned that into clothing. When I was really, really heavy, I did not have a clothing addiction, because my style was whatever fit, I wore. That's the style. Now I have options. I actually can have my own personal style. That has been a lot of fun. So I've bought so much clothes. And then as I sort of phased out clothing, I've always enjoyed quilting and sewing. I bought tons of fabric, and it was on sale, and it was pretty, and I needed it. And then, last but not least, makeup. Yeah. Because another thing, when I was heavier, I was so tired, and I just didn't feel like taking the extra effort to put any on. Now I'm like, oh yeah, look at this color, and this lipstick, and this eyeshadow, and so that's how I got here. So for my addictive personality, let's talk about that. We need to find some goals. Goals that are healthy. Because I can be addicted to healthy things just as well as unhealthy things. So addiction is addiction. I want to continue my healthy eating habits, because that has been, well, it's just been good. I feel so much better. I want to continue to focus on self-care, and I want to be more physically active. That is something I'm really excited about, because at one point in time, the weight, my knees hurt so bad that even just walking was painful. So when people were like, well, if you would just walk, then you could lose weight. But when it hurts to walk, walking's not an answer. And then, it's just a little hard to put into words. Then I started losing the weight, but I I hadn't felt good long enough, and I still had a lot of fear. I had a lot of fear of, if I do too much too soon, I will hurt. And one of the reasons I, went through all of the things, I had the gastric sleeve done, was so that I could stop hurting. So I did not want to hurt. Pain was to be avoided at all costs. Now I have been healthier and pain-free for long enough to know that it's okay. You can exercise, you can walk, you can do this, that, and the other thing. And it's exciting. So I'm very exciting. But I had to mentally get to the place. I don't know if that's making a lot of sense. I know, and I'm rambling. But mentally, I had to get to the right place mentally to be able to act on it physically. And I'm finally here, and it's a really good feeling. And I didn't know when I was going to get here, because we all process information and feelings and sensations differently. So it's a really good place to be. I want to reduce my spending, and that's where the no buy comes in. I want to go back to school in the fall and sign up for a master's program. I'm excited about that too. And so that also pairs into my no spending, because school, they're not giving master's degrees away. If you know of where you can get a master's degree for free, let me know, because I'd like to get one. And if it was free, I would make it even, there'd be a bigger incentive to sign up earlier than the fall. And then I want to continue to create. I've had such a good weekend. I cut out my grandmother's quilt. I cut it out. I sewed it together, and I just got done washing and drying it. And I'm going to give it to her later today. So that is so exciting. I love to do that. I love to give to my friends and family and people that are important to me and that I love with things that I make homemade. It just gives me joy, and I find comfort, and it's also part of my self-care, and it helps me de-stress. So it's a lot of things, that quilting for me, and just being creative in general. But the quilting is definitely one of those things, as well as the makeup. I really like doing all the collabs and the challenges, because it gives me an outlet to be creative, which is part of my self-care, because I need a creative outlet. So there you have it. That's my no buy rules, and those are some of my personal goals and the reasons why I am doing a no buy. All right, well, thank you all for joining me. I know this has been really long, and I don't know how much I can edit out. If you stuck along for this entire video, yes, you're a winner. I really appreciate you spending time with me. But if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all again really soon. Bye.